After the hidden CCTV images of Ugandan nanny Jolly Tumahiri torturing the toddler she was supposed to be looking after, we ask, who should you trust to look after your kids? Plus, in an age where many of us are launching our own businesses, can anyone be a successful entrepreneur? And forget sink or swim, is it sink and sink when it comes to black people and swimming? Why aren't we good at swimming? You're watching Real Talk. Welcome to Real Talk, the show where your voice and your opinion, along with our studio panel, is the most important feature of the show. Just a quick follow-up as to start off, though, on the Eric Garner case. A die-in took place in Westfields and Shepherd's Bush in London just overnight. Were you there? If you were, let us know. Please get in touch. Here are the images. I'll introduce the panel in a moment. We've got a TV entrepreneur, an actor, and a political commentator talking tonight. If you want to join them with your voices and on any of the topics, here's how you do it. You call us 0207 819 6460. It is cheap. It's a local rate, so you will not get a huge phone bill. You can email us realtalk@otv.co.uk. Send us a tweet at OTV or find us via the Facebook page and let us know what your opinion is there. Right, we'll go to our first topic in just a moment. Let's meet the panel, though. We have, well, I'll tell you now, I was going to say, very smart, you almost like an MP, to be fair, Samuel Kasumu, a political commentator and social entrepreneur. I was going to say Tory candidate, you're a Conservative activist.
Yep, but not a candidate.
Not yet.
Maybe not ever.
Oh, OK. Yeah, could be the first black Tory MP. I tell you now, we've got Bianca Miller, entrepreneur and now TV star, having been on our reality show. Well, we know The Apprentice. I can't talk about it. But yes, you know, it's great to have you here.
Thank you.
And Jumayn Hunter, the actor. Oh, yeah, very cool. In the studio. Definitely get in touch. We'd love to hear from you. You all right, guys?
Yeah, good.
Very well.
Ready to talk?
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Good. Because, unfortunately, our first topic is very controversial. It involves this woman, a 22-year-old maid who's currently in court in Uganda after pleading guilty to what can only be described as a child torture of a toddler. Her name is Jolly Tumahiri, and the toddler is baby Arnella. Now, we at OTV cannot show you the video, which is being watched by hundreds of thousands across the world, as it's simply too traumatic of what Jolly did to baby Arnella. What happened was her father, Arnella's father, Eric Kamanzi, suspected something was wrong. So he placed hidden cameras in his home. What he discovered was the apparent systematic kicking and beating by Jolly, the woman who was supposed to be caring for the 18-month-old baby. It's astonishing, it's horrible. And like I say, we're not going to show it on OTV. So what we're asking you tonight is what should happen to Jolly? She's in court, she's admitted her guilt. And who should, or do you trust to look after your kids? Give us a call, please. 0207 819 6460. Let's start with you, Bianca. I mean, you've seen the footage of what Jolly did to her 18-month-old baby Arnella. Can you believe it?
I saw the footage for the first time today, and it was truly horrible footage. You know, I watched it, I felt quite emotional just seeing that someone could do that to a child, you know, a baby, a defenseless child. And for me, that's so scary. You know, when I do have children, my hope is that, you know, I can rely on my family to help me with that child. But the reality is that's a perfect world scenario. And nowadays, you know, parents have to go out and work. You can't expect them to look after your children.
I mean, let me just tell you what happened, but we're not going to show it. Jolly kicked the child's face, kicked her in the face and the stomach. And then she put her entire weight on Arnella's back, her entire weight, a 22-year-old woman, grown woman. She put her entire weight on the child and then dragged her out of the room in what seemed to be an unconscious state. And like I say, her father put the CCTV up because he saw bruises on his daughter and she was walking with a limp. I mean, Jumayn, what's your reaction? You've seen the footage.
I saw the footage. To tell you the truth, from a personal point of view, I thought it was disgusting. But to tell you the truth, these kind of things do happen. And because of the media coverage and whatnot, obviously it's getting addressed right now, which is a good thing. And for, what's her name, Jolie, obviously pleading guilty and whatnot, I do understand that, her solicitor wasn't present at the time when she got sentenced, so there's a bit of stipulation.
Well, she's not been sentenced. She'll be sentenced on Wednesday, but she's admitted her guilt and she says she's incredibly sorry. She's asked the family to forgive her. I mean, Samuel, you refused to watch the footage.
Yeah.
Just tell me why, first of all.
I mean, first of all, credit to the father for being able to pick up that something was wrong and taking action. I think that is a lesson to many parents. If you do leave your child with anybody, make sure that you pay a lot of attention to how that child responds when you see them again. And the reason why I didn't want to see it was because I kind of felt like I'd heard enough. It wasn't going to change my opinion, which is that it was a terrible thing to happen. And this is a lesson for parents across the world, I guess.
I mean, who do you trust and who should you trust to look after your children? Bianca made the point, a lot of women and men go out to work, they haven't got the time to look after their children, particularly toddlers. Very, very handful, and they need a lot of care and attention. Who do you trust to look after your child? 0207 819 6460. I mean, you know, the fact that, you know, we're not talking about a murder case, that the father or anyone didn't kill this nanny or this maid. It's astonishing because, you know, I don't know what I'd have done, but I would have reacted badly, Bianca.
I can't imagine the pain that a father would go through watching that happen to his child. You know, I'm not agreeing with the violent act that happened as a result of him seeing that footage, but I just can't imagine how you would feel, just that level of emotion, seeing that you couldn't protect your child as a parent. You want to be able to protect them.
Let's go straight to the phones. Hello, you're calling Real Talk. Can I take your name, please?
Good evening, my name is Becky.
Eki.
Yes, and I'm calling from Leighton, East London.
Brilliant. Lovely to get your call. Please, could you turn down the volume on your television, please, so we don't get an echo? And whilst you do, please think about what should happen to this maid. She faces 15 years in prison if she's sentenced. Well, she's sentenced on Wednesday if they decide that. Hello, Eki. What's your opinion, please?
My name is Becky.
Oh,
I'm
Becky.
calling from Leighton.
Hi, Becky.
I did watch this video, and it's very, very awful. It's very hard. When I watched it, I was crying in tears because I couldn't just believe such a little baby, a baby that cannot do anything herself, could be tortured in such a way. And I think the maximum penalty of discipline should be given to this lady.
So you think she should get the full 15 years?
I think she should get the full 15 years.
But she's only 22, Becky. There's an argument that, you know, as bad and as horrific as it was, she said she's sorry. She's 22. We're hearing that maids are treated appallingly in parts of Africa, Jamaica, wherever. Perhaps there was a lot of pressure on her?
She is sorry. She might say she's sorry, but you need to look at the memory she's going to give to that little child forever and ever.
Thank you.
Because if that child continues to grow up, there will be like a fear in the child's mind that someone somewhere has done this to me before.
Yeah.
And that fear will carry on for the rest of that child's life.
Thank you, Becky.
It's only 15 years. She should get the maximum penalty for it.
OK. Thank you very much. And thank you, Becky. And if you are calling Real Talk, please just turn down your television whilst you get through. You know, she's 22 years old. If she has the maximum, Jumayn, she's going to come out sort of, you know, not maybe being able to have children herself.
See, that's understandable. I do understand from that point of view, but then at the same time, she's a 22-year-old woman. We're not talking about a child. She's not a teenager. She's not 10 years old. She's not close to the age of the baby. She is a woman. So she knows what she's doing, right and wrong. She has a job. she employed herself. I take it maybe through an agency, but it doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? There has to be some kind of repercussions. So,
but there's quite a lot of domestic violence. We're hearing about it all the time, aren't we? You know, one woman gets killed by a partner, let alone every single week here in the UK. I mean, Samuel, you're a political activist. Should there be more done to, you know, let's concentrate on this country as well, for people that hurt children?
Yeah, I mean, clearly a message needs to be sent out. I don't know if 15 years is going to be at that message or less. But also I think that there's a wider issue around safeguarding. I know in the UK there is a lot of measures in place and people still slip through the net and challenges still happen.
But we're going through the biggest child abuse inquiry in the UK, the Jimmy Savile and all sorts of things, and we're hearing about MPs and honestly, Bianca, I mean, who do you trust with your children? We heard about the Scouts yesterday.
I was going to say
0207 819 6460. Who do you trust with your children? I mean, is it a case we could only trust our parents, our grandparents?
I think it's truly terrifying that, you know, you employ someone to provide a service and you expect them to do that service to the best of their ability and to treat that child like it's their own. You can't always expect that your parents will be around to look after children. Unfortunately, looking at the economical circumstances of most people, they can't afford to stay off of work to look after your child.
I mean,
so, you know, you can't expect that. You have to expect that you can pay for that service and get a good level of service.
Yeah, and you have to be very careful that you don't victimise the industry because of an individual or individuals that don't represent everyone.
Okay. Well, we showed the footage of what Jolly did, Jolly to Mahiro, to baby Arnella. We showed the footage to some people and this was their reaction.
Watching it, I actually thought it's not real. It doesn't look real. It seems like something out of a movie or something.
Just seeing this now made me really feel sick to my stomach. I really don't understand how a person could do that to another living being, especially one who's only 1 year old and is a full-grown woman, stomping and beating a child like that.
How I would feel if somebody did that to my child. I might not be able to say the direct thing now, but I will pull out some stunts on that person. I will do something really bad.
And apologies if any of that footage was distressing for you. We're not going to show the video. It is spine-chilling, it really is. And after her arrest, police said the nanny would be charged for attempted murder. But in court on Monday, she's only going to be facing torture charges. The state prosecutor, Joyce Tujambi, said Tuwari, who had no lawyer, was remorseful in court. She said she was sorry for the act and she's asked for forgiveness from the family. I'm astonished. As a mom, I just, honestly, I don't want to get emotional, but I just don't understand where a woman in particular, and I'm having been a bit sexist here, Samuel, because women do awful things, but, you know, I'll have to turn to you, Bianca, as a woman. There's got to be a part of you that says, I'm standing on a child, and that child is 18 months.
The major concern for me, not that if a child did something wrong, they would deserve that level of abuse, but the concern is that the child did nothing. The child was just sitting there watching television, you know, happily being fed. And to do that, I mean, again, gender aside, that as a human being, to harm a child in that way, to me is absolutely disgraceful, and it's unacceptable.
Apparently, the child wouldn't eat, and Jolly the maid became frustrated. And we're hoping to speak to somebody who can actually tell us what it's like, because we had a caller, we had an email in earlier to say maids are treated disgustingly in Africa, but in particular. So perhaps we need to hear that side of it as well. Thank you so much. I've had so many emails. The nanny should be beaten herself and sent to jail for 10 years, says Franklin. The nanny caught on tape is a monster. Only a monster would hurt a child. Ronnie has said, someone had posted the video. I couldn't watch it. From the description, I knew I couldn't stomach it. What should happen, Samuel, if there was a death sentence? Would you go as far as a death penalty for someone like that?
To be honest with you, I'm not sure. For me, the most important thing is how do we ensure it doesn't happen again?
Sorry to cut you. Let's go to the phones. Nana, hello, Nana.
Hello.
Where are you calling from?
Hi, I'm calling from Ilford.
Ilford. What's your comments, please?
Well, I think with what's going on at the moment, you can see that this is quite rampant in this system, and it's not just happening in the UK; it's happening all over the world. With this particular case being in Uganda, and I just think that all vulnerable persons, including children and the elderly, if in care of someone that's employed, they all need to have cameras recording them. Because recently we saw the one with the lady stealing money from an old age pensioner and putting it in her bra and things like that. I think just as protective measures, these people need to be recorded, because you can't put anything past anyone these days. You have the doctors taking care of terminally ill children and molesting them at their most vulnerable points and things like this.
I mean, but can I just say, and I'm going to play devil's advocate here, the father saw his daughter limping and bruised. He put a CCTV camera in. I must admit, if I saw my child limping and bruised, I don't think I'd need a CCTV camera to know what's going on, Jumayn. Thank you.
I think we do need a camera, because it's a child. The child can't actually tell you what's happened. And if you just go out, you have no proof, and he could have been in trouble if he just went, and did something to the nanny and had no proof. I think what he did was best, putting a camera in to prove what was going on before he reacted.
I would say that you absolutely do need to have a CCTV camera, absolutely, but I think to actually put one in after you feel that your child has been affected is really not the way to do it, because I personally would not then install a CCTV camera to try and catch the person in the act, because what if it had been murder? What if it had gone further? You don't just try and almost convict someone on the basis of your child.
Maybe he didn't know.
At risk.
He didn't know.
Yeah, but your child's bruised.
Well, he didn't know
and
maybe
limping.
if it was the childminder with somebody else,
come on,
or
if
the kid
I
was
come
just a bit
home and my child is limping and bruised, and there is no explanation that you can give me that seems valid, you've no longer got a job.
And then he'd replace with another person that was not safeguarded as well. I mean, how do you select these people to look after your children?
Thank you. I was about to say that the whole process in general needs to be looked at from the get-go, from the woman or whoever the childminder is let into the house. They need to address who's working there. Are they CRB checked? Obviously, these are different countries we're talking about. But exactly.
So perhaps we'll continue with this. Perhaps the parents have got a bit of blame here. Perhaps they should have been much more vigilant as to who is looking after your child. Who looks after your child when you're at work? Or do you say, no, I'm not going to work, my child is more important? Love to hear from you. 0207 819 6460. We'll take a break, and we're going to be talking about starting your own business. Can anyone be a natural entrepreneur like Bianca and Samuel? Or do you need special qualities to make it big in business? We'll see you soon. Welcome back to Real Talk. Good to have your company. Our lively panel still have a lot to say. Actor Jumayn, political activist, Tory political activist. I'm going to say that. Samuel, not many Tories. There are not many African Caribbean Tories, let's be honest. And reality TV star and personal coach and developer Bianca are in the studio on Real Talk. We'd like to hear from you as well. 0207 819 6460 is the way that you call. You can email us realtalk@otv.co.uk. You can send us a tweet at OTV as well, or find us on Facebook. A lot of you getting in contact to us about the maid, the 22-year-old maid who is in court in Uganda facing 15 years for what could only be described as torturing the 18-month-old toddler that she was supposed to be in charge of, baby Arnella. There's baby Arnella with her dad, Eric, who put CCTV into the house because his child was limping and with bruises, and he suspected something was going on. We are going to move on from this topic, but do let us know your opinion. Samuel, in sort of conclusion, is this sort of severe sort of beating, I suppose, of children? Do you think it's a very specific African thing, or is it a problem?
No, I think to hit or to beat a child to that extent is pure craziness. And I think that the only people that do things like that need some type of mental health help. They should not go anywhere near children. They should be safeguarded from children. So it's not an African thing. It's just a worldwide phenomenon that some people are strange enough to want to do this to children.
Thank you, Samuel. Kasumu. I mean, Bianca, your background is Caribbean. Bianca Miller, founder of the B Group. You know, my mum was Jamaican, my dad was Nigerian. I remember beatings from both sides of the culture. Not as obviously as bad as that, you know. But, you know, beating is an intrinsic part of African Caribbean discipline.
I think there are different levels of beating. So as you said, you might get a little smack or a tap to say don't do that.
A little snap.
My parents believed in talking quite a lot, so they used to. Yeah, that was worse for me. That was my torture. So yeah, if I'd done something wrong, they told me that I needed to sort myself out, and that was more scary. Or they took away my pocket money, which as a businesswoman
is very scary.
Yeah, yeah. So, but you know, there are times when you do need to. When someone's not old enough to understand words, if they're in danger, they're going towards a hot iron or fire, you might need to give them a little tap and say, don't do that. That is not just a little bit of... It's domestic violence.
I mean, actor Jumayn, obviously, we've got loads of images of violence. You know, you've been in some, I'm sure, some films with violence, Dom Hemingway, Eden Lake, Attack the Block. Oh, have we got too many images of violence? Not sort of saying that what she did was because of her watching a violent film.
I do think as a society at the moment, we do have a lot of information flying towards us a lot faster than ever before.
Well, let's talk about violence. There's a lot of violence on telly and films.
With TV, the music industry, all kinds of industries. The things that we're given, violence especially, like you're saying, it's bad. It's very bad. And I think people are becoming really insensitive to violence now.
Yes.
Some things just don't faze people, and I've been realising, maybe through different generations, it's been strange, but I've been realising a change in people.
I mean, it's like the games that children play, like the game, you know, violent games, war games. It just, they don't see that as a problem.
But let's talk about reality. You know, the sort of beheadings of, you know, these terrorist groups, and, you know, it's openly talked about. When we were growing up, there was, there was none of that. Have we become attuned or, you know, to violence? Have we sort of, you know, is it not such a big thing anymore?
I think we have, but I still think that violence towards young people is not normalised and it's still frowned upon and looked at as a bad thing. Maybe violence towards adults, maybe people have become a bit more, you know, comfortable with it.
Okay. Well, to conclude this topic, we went out on the streets to ask you who should look after your children. This is what you had to say.
I would trust my family to look after my kids because I know them well.
I would trust like a registered childminder, wherein if anything goes wrong, at least I'll be able to sue them.
The person I trust is like my dad, or I don't know, like a proper close family member. That's all. And yeah, I watched the video and I didn't really like it because I kind of found it a bit too aggressive and it's not something I'm used to be honest with you.
I'd be disgusted because if they have checks and they're safe and then you see something like that, it'll be horrible for me because you think that you can put your trust in them and then they just ruin your child like that. It would just be a horrible feeling.
I'm not really 100% that I don't trust any nannies because my wife is a nanny.
I can't trust anyone, just my husband and me. I don't want to live with anyone, my child. It's too dangerous for them.
She was a child and in the way like she was beating her up, it was a really, really horrible to watch even.
In terms of looking after your kids, I think I would trust close friends and family.
And parents if possible, but if they're not available, sort of grandparents and stuff like that. That's what I had when I was growing up.
Even though they've got like a CV of how many people they've looked after, you can't really trust somebody fully. Whereas with your family, you've known them forever, you've known your friends, someone trustworthy, that they are the right people that I would put in care of my kids.
You keep letting us know what you feel about who looks after your kids. Please keep letting us know. 0207 819 6460. Now, we're going to move on to a different topic. We're talking who wants to be a business millionaire? Have we all got it in us to start and run our own business? Or are you a born entrepreneur? Let us know what you think. Can anyone run a business? Or do you have to be, well, sort of have the right qualities, we should say? You can email us realtalk@otv.co.uk. Bianca, your group, the B group, we've seen you, well, some of us have seen you on The Apprentice. Yeah. So business is your thing.
Yeah. I think business has always been my thing. Both my parents, when I was growing up, had businesses or were freelance, so I kind of saw that as the norm as I was growing up. And when I was younger, I used to be selling, paintings to my parents, or, trying to start. I started my own business when I was 16, teaching dance, 14, teaching dance to young children in junior schools. And it just developed from there. I just had a kind of a passion for having my own business.
So was it your parents then that instilled that in you?
Potentially seeing business around you, kind of nature versus nurture, I guess. I did see that and I thought, oh, this is amazing. I'd love to do that. My parents said, no, go and get a proper job. and just work your way up the ranks. Don't have the stress of business, because business is stressful.
It's stressful. Well, you got to the top in the TV reality world with The Apprentice. Jumayn Hunter, you're an actor, so you're self-employed. You're your own business.
Yeah, I can't complain. I've finally done it. I started out from when I was about 12 years old. The whole nature versus nurture thing, I kind of took it upon myself. I looked at my environment and whatnot, and I thought, how could I change me and better myself?
Okay.
So I thought, if I make myself the kind of martyr for the whole thing, I'm a working, example, I guess. I try and see myself as.
Yeah, you did quite a good, quite a good few films. We can see you, I think, in a still of one of your films, Dom Hemingway. And you write your own scripts, don't you? Or you direct yourself?
Yeah, I do. I write my scripts with my friends. I direct my own stuff. Also, a lot of the movies I've done recently, they've let me write little bits in for my own scenes.
So that's brilliant. I mean, that's really good. Yeah. Samuel Kasumu, you've got a company, EN Campaigns. You help people start businesses, so you do the sort of start-up funding thing.
Yeah.
Where have you got that from? Where have you got that desire, that entrepreneurial desire?
I guess it combines my commercial knack with my passion for politics. So every business I've ever founded or run has a focus on finding commercial solutions to social problems, really. So this was just another gap where I found that certain communities maybe struggle for finance when they want to set up businesses, so I wanted to find a
So you've got the money.
Yeah.
He's rich. He's rich, everybody. He's rich. We'll give you his details if you want to start a business. So is there like a group of hedge funders? Do you all put money in and help startups? How does it work?
Partly government funded, partly private funded. So in the last 18 months, we've funded just under 1,000 businesses across the United Kingdom.
Great.
Ranging from anywhere from 500.
And can I say, Sam, I've got to say this: you look like a MP.
Oh, gosh.
And why aren't there more African Caribbean?
I don't know.
Is that a compliment?
Probably not. Probably not.
Why aren't there more African Caribbean people supporting Tories? We've got the general election in 6 months' time. How are you doing?
Well, it's historical. That's the answer to it. Because what you'll find is a lot of people from BME backgrounds tend to be very conservative in nature, and conservative in regards to they believe in a family in its traditional sense. They're very strict, believe in education, enterprise.
How do your friends and family take to you when you say, listen, when you told them I'm going Tory, I'm a Tory activist, do they back you?
To be honest, at first I think a lot of them thought I was joking, but then the more they saw me get involved in the party.
Why are you laughing, Jumayn?
Because he's being so genuinely honest. I love honesty.
But yeah, I mean the world is changing. More people like me are joining the Conservative Party.
Okay, what about, are you convinced, or would you vote Tory, do you think, in May?
Maybe not today, but give it time.
You know what?
Give it time.
You know what? You're giving me a valid argument, you're working on me. Bit by bit, I can't lie.
Bianca's saying nothing. So let us know, have you started your own business? Have you got what it takes? And here's the interesting statistic. Apparently, African people are more likely to set up a business than Caribbean. Is this true? And Caribbean seem to specialise in hair and beauty, whereas African businesses seem to go a bit more down the IT route. Do you book that trend? 0207 819 6460. We're getting a lot of emails as well. Give us some tips, please, Samuel and Bianca. If people are watching, they're thinking, look, you know what? I'm inspired by Bianca, I'm inspired by Jumayn, Samuel. How do I start my own business? Tell them.
I think, for me, the fundamentals of business and starting a business really comes back to research. I think a lot of people who want to start a business don't do enough research. So it's understanding what your product or service is.
Oh, tell them.
Who's going to buy your product or service, where they want to buy it from and how they want to purchase it. So really understanding the buying and purchasing power of their clients.
Let's go to the phones. Hello, you're calling Real Talk. What's your name?
Hi, my name's Laquia.
Hello, Laquia. Where are you calling from?
Reading.
Reading. Have you got your own business?
No, but I just graduated, so I'm thinking about starting my own business.
OK, well, look, we've got a start-up. You might get some money from our Tory activists. Come on, sell yourself quickly. Come on. Pitch to him.
I'm thinking about it. I'm not sure. I don't have it yet. Too much pressure.
Too much pressure.
Oh, may I intervene? May I intervene?
Yes.
Hi, all right, cool. So this is my advice then. Timing is everything. When you've made your decision, go along with it. Make sure, like Bianca said, you've done your research and whatnot, but timing is key. If you let things go, time doesn't wait for no man. Yeah, you can't just let time pass you by.
Honestly, and you may never get a chance to speak to a man that could provide. What's your business idea?
A friend of mine wants to start a website. Well, she has started developing it to motivate people in different areas that they want to competition.
Perfect. In business, competition is important. I'm not scared of competition. I think that helps businesses to prosper, really. So, you know, I think get the advice, speak to the right people. I go to universities and schools all the time, giving talks on personal branding, entrepreneurship, employability, and that's what you need to do. Go to those talks.
Well, go for it, girlfriend. Don't just sit there and watch Real Talk.
Have no fear. No fear. Get on your laptop now.
Exactly. We've had an email here from Lance. Yes, I am an internet marketeer. I guess I've been selling all my life and now I market for many companies worldwide. I help motivate businesses and generate leads and prospects. I'm only 24 from East London. Check me out. Lance Lewis. I love that.
Congratulations.
Proactive. Proactive. Nice. So, I mean, look, what more could you want on Real Talk? We've got someone who can provide you with the cash. We've got a glamorous woman who can tell you how to be confident, because your company is all about getting people to talk.
Yeah, it's about how you market yourself. So how you communicate effectively, how to network, how to utilise social media to get ahead, how to dress, everything that helps you with that confidence and marketing.
Can I just say I'm loving the bling top. Let's quickly go back to the phones. Hello, who's calling Real Talk?
Hello, hi, it's Annette calling from Tottenham.
Tottenham, hello Annette. What's your business idea, or do you want to share it?
Oh, well, what I really wanted just to discuss was the whole issue of whether anyone could be a leader.
Oh, okay.
And my sort of view on that, no, in short. I work in HR, and I know Bianca's worked in HR in the past, and I've had a lot of people that come through into my department who have to go through capability, for example, who we are trying to, help them be managers. And with the majority of them, they just can't seem to grasp the facts of what they need to do as a leader or a manager. You can put anyone on any type of training course, assertiveness, how to be a leader.
But look at Jumayn. But look at Jumayn, Annette. He's had to lead himself. And, I'm sure you didn't go to any PR or development course. What's the answer then, Annette? I mean, what? We're saying some people will never make it?
You don't necessarily need to go to a course, but you have to have those skills already installed in you. Now, because if you try and teach someone to be a manager, they're not assertive, they're quite shy, don't take... they don't handle pressure. It's going to be a big issue. These are behaviours that can't be taught to a person.
Annette, thank you so much. Samuel, if someone walks in and says, listen, Samuel, I'm looking for $5,000, I've got a hairdressing business in Dalston, and you actually thought, look, you haven't got the whatever it is that Jumayn's got. I'd give him money, I'd give Bianca money, I'd give you money if I had it. What do you say? Are you honest? Do you say, look, I'm not going to give you the cash because, or do you say no?
Well, first of all, I think we've probably funded some hairdressers in Dalston, to be fair, from my memory. But I think the important thing is that when you want to set up a business, you will play one role. And it doesn't necessarily mean you'll play the role of the leader.
Right.
There are guys who own chip shops and just like cutting up
potatoes
and frying chips, and they leave the finance and they leave it to other people.
Yeah. Is that the mistake we make, Bianca and Jumayn? We want to do everything. And why is it? Let's stick with hairdressers in Dalston. Why is it, one, there's a hairdresser next to another hairdresser, and two, when you walk into any black hairdresser, I love you all, but it's that no one looks at you, no one smiles, and it's like,
Trust me, I know.
Where is the personal skills when it comes to communication?
Well, you know, it's a difficult one. I go into schools all the time and speak to young people about communication. And I think, unfortunately, as academically astute as you might be, that sometimes isn't taught. They don't look at how do you communicate? How do you speak to someone who isn't just your peer level but above you, you know?
It's asserting yourself, knowing when to approach someone, how to say hello, how to be polite,
I mean, it should be common sense.
Like
if you walk into my shop and you want to spend some money, I want to serve you. But that's not how
But you have to look at demand. If you're in a place like Dalston and your target market is in high volumes, sometimes you might feel like there's no need for you to...
You still want that one person. You don't want to... You know, that person might be a repeat customer that comes back every week.
Honestly, I've heard in one black food shop, I've actually heard someone say, "Get out," because they asked for 3 dumplings, and the woman said, I haven't got any more dumplings.
Wow.
That was tough.
I'm sure there was more to the story.
No, seriously, well, the dumplings were a bit hard. But anyway, time for a break now, but coming up, why are so many black people good at sprinting on an athletics track as opposed to sprinting through water? Why can't black people swim? See you in a few minutes. Welcome back to Real Talk. You've been brilliant. Thank you so much. Loads of emails, particularly from African America. We will try and get to them. Thank you very much. We've got some paper stories as well coming up, and you can still let us know what you think about the nanny, the maid, Jolly, who was just appalling child abuse to the 18-month-old baby Arnella over in Uganda. What should be done to her, and who do you trust to look after your children? Also, are you an entrepreneur? Is it a born thing, or can you learn the skills to start a business? 0207 819 6460. Brilliant panel in today. Brilliant political Tory. Sorry, activist. I still can't get over that. Black guy, Tory. Samuel. OK, we'll quickly go to the phones now. And Bianca, TV reality star and businesswoman, and Jumayn, actor. Hello, who's calling Real Talk?
Hello, good evening. My name is Ivy and I'm calling from Hackney.
OK, hi, hello, Ivy from Hackney. I think you want to quickly speak to Bianca and Samuel, yes?
Yes, I do.
Off you go.
Hi, guys.
Hi,
right,
Ivy.
I have this silly idea I just came up with a few days ago, and it's simply about helping people sit down and trace back their tree. So just going back to the generations back and just creating kind of like a, generational chart about them so they can put their family story together.
OK.
Yeah,
Nice.
and then they can print it off, put in their living room or put in the offices if they want, so it could be in any style that they prefer. So I know that there's something like that online already, but I wanted to do it first and on offline service to come, have a chat with you and create this, family tree.
And Jumayn could join in. He's got great ideas. So come on then, Samuel. She's pitched you. It's like the Dragon's Den. You've got the cash. Can you help her?
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic idea, personally. I think the first thing is you need to identify your target market. So what is the immediate group that you're going to sell this to? Is it your local church? Is it your local borough? Is it in Hackney or whatever? Second, obviously, go on. Sorry, go on.
Well, I could start with family and friends.
OK, which is even better.
Yeah, and then take it from there.
You're going to need to maybe have 1 or 2 examples that you've done before, so you can see that you can develop the product. And obviously, if you want finance from us after, just go on our website, encampaigns.com, and we'd be more than happy to help you.
He's so smooth, isn't he?
But great idea.
Bianca, any tips for Ivy?
I think I would really look into the main competitor that's on the web, on the internet, because you need to see what they're doing so you can differentiate yourself. If it is that personal service, you're going to work one-to-one with them to create a family tree, then that's fantastic. That's something I would love to do.
Yeah.
I'd love to know all about my heritage. So really understanding what's out there already, how you're going to differentiate yourself, and how you're going to price it, and also the time it takes to trace that back, because it can't be easy, especially if you're looking at Afro-Caribbean, descent.
I mean, Jumayn, how much is she charge people, do you think?
Well,
How much would you pay for your family tree and a book?
To tell you the truth, it depends on how much I would be taking from you. So maybe like a package deal might be a good idea.
Yeah.
Different set amounts for different things. For example, a brief history, a very in-depth history, etc., etc. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was going to say different levels to it might help you.
Ivy?
Yeah, I'm here.
And don't rely on your family to pay cash, honey. Yeah. You know? They might be family, but they'll want it free.
Oh, God.
I mean, family and friends provide a really good test subject. When I started my business, it was great to be able to go to them and ask them for if I could take them out and help them with their communication, their styling, whatever. So it's a great test subject, but yes, beyond family, you need to create that business.
Please, Ivy, make sure your business plan includes other people, if you know what I mean.
But they may be, your friends and family may be your early stage investors anyway. You might need to come to me because they may all believe in your dream.
Okay, I'm not dreaming that big yet. It's just started yesterday, 3 days ago. God, I'm worried now.
That's how the best ideas start, on the back of a fag packet.
Absolutely. Thank you. Was the advice good, Ivy?
It's fantastic. Thank you very much. Especially the confidence boost as well. It's great.
All the best.
Oh, that's lovely. And this is why I'm so glad we've got a fantastic panel, Jumayn, Bianca and Samuel, because they are passionate about helping people, definitely. So it is great. So keep your calls coming in if you want to start a business. If you want some tips, then let us know. 0207 819 6460. We are going to be talking now, though, here about sinking or swimming, because this woman, here she is. Here she is. Look at this face. We've got a picture of Alia Atkinson. Look at that face. that's the face of, is it me? Because she became the first black woman swimmer to both win a world title and break a world record on Saturday, taking the 100-metre breaststroke at the World Short Course Championships in Doha in Qatar. But why is it? In a recent survey, 70% of black children cannot swim. What is going on? Can you swim, Bianca? Let us know. Why are we good at sprinting, but not great at swimming? 0207 819 6460. Email realtalk@otv.co.uk. Samuel, can you swim?
Unfortunately not, no. But I don't think I can't, I don't think it's because I'm black. I just think it's because it was, I just think it's because it was something that was not particularly of interest to me when I was growing up.
OK. Bianca, can you swim?
I can swim. I'm not amazing. I wouldn't say I could do lengths or anything, but I think it's something that is not taught very much here in the UK. I had swimming training when I was in primary school and never again since then.
All my white friends can swim. They're all on the beach.
I do think it does come back to your parents, though, and whether your parents regularly take you to swimming or swimming lessons on weekends.
Can't swim or won't swim.
Yeah.
I don't think we can't swim.
Can you swim, Jumayn?
I'm a very, very good swimmer. I've been swimming my whole life since I can remember. I enjoy swimming. I love it. But since I grew my hair, I refuse to get in a chlorine-filled pool. Big difference. Do you know what I mean? Personally, I can't do it. You know what it is like.
It's a typical black woman's response. I'm not going to swim because my hair.
Hey, listen, you know. But,
Let's quickly go to the phone lines. Hello, you're calling Real Talk. Hello?
Hello.
Hello, what's your name?
My name is Son of the Sun.
OK, where are you calling from?
Labrugo.
OK, can you swim?
Very sharply and swiftly.
So you don't walk along the bottom?
I am a very good swimmer. Oh. Yeah, me being an African, I am proud of my swimming. I am actually appalled to hear that there are a lot of black people who cannot swim. Huh?
Oh.
How can you not be good in something your people are great at? Okay. You know what I mean? Because I am from Africa, a.k.a. Zimbabwe. I'm the one who can take a deep dive into a river and open my eyes when I am under the water.
No!
Snap.
I can do that even when I'm in swimming pools here in London. I'm still able to do that. I remember one day, if I can say it quickly, I remember one day in Africa, I took a deep dive, then I opened my eyes under the water and I saw a shark, it was called a python snake under the water. Just minding its own business. Just minding its own business. So I just opened my eyes and then when I get out, I just told my friends that to get out because there is...
Thank you. Thanks for that story. That's really encouraged swimmers.
When we say black people do not swim, if we ever ask ourselves why is it that our little people are taking practice to do this swimming?
Can I just quickly ask you?
A general...
Oh, well, thanks for your comment. Thank you. But why is it? We are great sprinters. If you look at the Olympics, there's not one other culture in there. It's all black men and black women. Why are we so good on the track? and not as good in the pool, Jumayn.
May I get really scientific right now?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, I'm probably going to get a lot of tweets and a lot of emails for this.
Okay, let's start now.
I am not a scientist, that's the first thing I'm saying, yeah? But this is just in research that I've done. But I found that in research that apparently black people's bone marrow is a lot more dense than a lot of other races. Hence, we weigh more. That's number one.
So
yeah?
we're denser than other cultures?
Our bone marrow is denser, which adds weight onto us. But secondly, with the racing and whatnot, there's a bone, I think it's called the fibula. Again, I'm not a scientist, so don't quote me on this bone. But it should be the bone between your thigh and knee. And with black people, it's curved, especially with women, yeah? It's curved for childbirth and whatnot. When you're getting into the more westernized and Europeans, it's straighter. So it takes a lot of pressure off running weight.
Well, let us know if you're a scientist out there. Look, he's skinny. He ain't got no dense bones. Let's quickly go to the bones. Hello, who's calling?
Hey, Tricia, how you doing? It's Bidal here.
Hi, Bidal. Nice to speak to you. What's your comment, please?
Yeah, I just wanted to comment about the whole African call, the whole African setting up businesses and all that. I think it's because being an African myself, as you know, I think it's really down to the fact that we've been brought up like that. We see it all around us. We've seen our parents hustle and have a little side hustle on the side. We know all our uncles are either selling one thing or the other. And you know, there's always the African food shops, there's always the African clothes shops, you know, and that, so it's something that's inbred in us. But one thing that I would really like to encourage, I think, first of all, I think the panel was really fantastic that we've got such a young panel of people that are talking real entrepreneurial sense there, and it's something to celebrate. But one thing I've always wondered, I don't know if you can help me out, is I always go to the Jamaican food shops, and these guys never smile.
Yeah,
I can't.
Do you know what? I have to agree with you. What is it about Caribbean food shops where there's no smiley face, or are we being prejudicial?
Actually, there is a Caribbean restaurant. I have to say there is a Caribbean restaurant in right next to where I live. Not where I live, sorry, where my office is in Farringdon, and they smile when I come in. Yes, they do.
I agree. There's one in South Norwood, Blue Jays, always smiley, always happy.
Thank you, Bidal. Thank you, Bidal. So Bidal is saying he has not been to a Caribbean food shop where they smile.
This is my argument, yeah? All right. Okay, there's familiarity, obviously. Like, if you go there on a regular basis, then obviously you don't know who they smell. That's one thing.
Hold on a minute. You know, Jumayn, it doesn't matter if you go there 8 times or if you go there 1 time. It doesn't take anything to smile, and that's a lot.
Business perspective, you want them to come back. I'm not going to come back and spend my hard-earned money.
And let's not just diss the food shops, because some hairdressers and barbers are miserable too.
Okay, I tried, but you're right. Yeah, that's it. I'm out. Yeah, you're right.
My barber's great. He's a barking, really polite. If I'm in a rush, I give him a call. He says, "Yeah, come."
If I go into an Asian or Chinese takeaway, it's a lovely smile, and it's frustrated to go into an African Caribbean food shop and it's miserable, and I'm spending my hard-earned money. So let us know if you've had that same experience. Real talk at OHTV.co.uk. It'd be lovely to hear from you before the end of the show. There's got to be one Caribbean food shop.
There is.
The Peppers and Spice name is pretty nice. There you go. The women there are cool. That's a shout out to Tottenham.
Yeah, that's a free bill when he's in there next time. Right, let's quickly go to the papers. There's some papers round up. Let's start with you. What paper have you got for us, please? Who's starting first? Who's got the first one? I think. Who's this one? Who's doing this one?
Oh, that's okay. Fine. So we've got on the Sun newspaper.
Yeah.
We've got a Conservative MP playing Candy Crush Saga.
Let me just hit
during a political discussion on pensions.
Oh, gosh, what was his name?
Nigel Banks.
Yeah.
So he was playing Candy
Crush during the meeting for approximately 2 hours, and he has responded and said, "I will try not to do it again."
I mean,
I won't. I will try.
He's part of your party, so David Cameron, get rid of him.
If you have attended a committee meeting yourself, you would probably sympathise with him. Dare I say it? These things drag. They're very long.
Yeah, but he's getting paid for it to be dragged along.
I'm sure he won't do it again.
OK. What's your paper story, please, Samuel?
He's not sure. He said he'll try.
Mine's all about immigration. So apparently when people apply for citizenships, a lot of them are not checked at their countries of origin.
Oh, OK.
So there was someone who had stabbed someone to death who was also given British citizenship.
Yes.
It's very interesting. I mean, my own view is how can you guarantee you're going to get all the information you need from another country? It's just almost impossible.
It's almost impossible. Jumayn, thank you, Samuel.
Yes, CIA torture techniques revealed. George Bush apparently has been revealing the CIA secrets, and at the moment, all the other politicians, the world leaders and US leaders are obviously all going crazy about it. Personally, well, let's not beat around the bush here, people. Okay, we all know it goes on, don't we? Yeah, we all know this torture thing happens. Yeah. Sometimes it's with people that are innocent, let's be honest as well.
It's awful. It's brought it well to home, hasn't it? It really has. We've run out of time. Before we go, if people want to know about EN campaigns, Samuel Kasumu, where do they go? Go to
www.encampaigns.com.
Bianca, and you can't talk about The Apprentice, we'll have to watch you, but we hope you are okay and do well on it. Where can people know about the B Group?
So www.the-b-group.com, and I'm also launching a range of hosiery next year, which is for women of all colours. So biancamillerlondon.com to register your interest.
Oh, fantastic! Because my real life tights, or was it coloured tights?
Nude tights, but we're looking at nude from the perspective of all women, not nude from a small demographic.
Fantastic! About time too. And Jumayn Hunter, when's the next time we're going to see you on the big screen?
Okay, if you'd like to find me, I have a DVD called The Governors coming out soon. That's on the 24th of December. Also, find me on your Sky TV movie channels. Dom Hemingway, that's coming to Sky soon. And also in a cinema. I have 2 films coming out. I've played cameos in. One's Kill Your Friends, and the other one is called Remainder.
Wonderful. But you won't see Jumayn in a swimming pool near you because of his hair.
Definitely not.
You'll see him on screen, but you won't see him in a pool because he's growing his hair and it needs to be good. Can I say I'm incredibly proud of all 3 of you. You're young people doing your thing and pushing out there and being very successful. We're incredibly proud of you. That's it. That's it. We've run out of time. See you next time on Real Talk. Keep talking. We read every single email. We do appreciate it. Have a wonderful time till I see you next time. Bye-bye.